I want to say I think it's wonderful that people today, if they reunite with their adopted family members, I think it's wonderful. Like if you have a father or a mother that's your natural birth mother, and they called you up out of the blue, you looked them up and talked to them for a little bit. I know it's really sentimental, and I hope that your mom and dad and all will get back together. If there are other family members, hopefully they'll become a part of your life too. It's so important, to see that happening with people's lives, that people can reunite, even if they've been 40 some years apart, that they haven't seen each other from when they were a child or even when they were a baby, that they could kind of come together after all these years and hopefully rekindle that relationship before that mother or father passes on, or and hopefully they can and have that dialogue. It's wonderful. It's very wonderful thing. I hope and pray that if you had a call come to you from, if you looked them up and searched it on the internet and you found them and you called them, hopefully they'll call you back. If they don't get upset though. Because a lot of times the people do adopt people, they don't want to have a relationship with that child. That's why they did it. Maybe maybe they thought you came out of a pregnancy that was something that they couldn't afford or to raise you. They couldn't afford to raise you. They were irresponsible. They weren't ready to take on that responsibility, or it happened because of incest, or it happened because of somebody raping you. Unfortunately, it's horrible things. But but whatever circumstance it is, if you can have because a child, like I've always said, is not the bad thing. What happened to you was bad. If you were raped or incest, that was horrible. It goes beyond words. But if it happened to you and it wasn't that, you just weren't responsible, or you weren't mature to take on that responsibility type, hopefully you might rethink and maybe want to have a relationship with your natural birth mother and father who did adopt you. And hopefully you all will come back together. I pray that in families where this is going on, that they will get back together and be able to talk. And hopefully there'll be more family members that come out of it. Uh, I think it's a wonderful thing to see people coming together. And hope that dialogue, I pray, does happen for your sake. So anyway, if it doesn't, like I said, don't get discouraged. At least you reached out after all these years to try. But remember, sometimes they will come back together, but a lot of times they don't. But if they don't take it personal. But at least you reached out as a son or daughter to contact that real birth mother or father or both. But no avail. They just didn't want to have a relationship. Don't take it personal. Because remember, God's got a purpose for you, and He loves you more than anything. I mean, you got a beautiful family. You're married, and you have kids, so you've been blessed. In spite of what happened to you, you came out fine. In spite of it, but God's still working and blessing you in your life and enriching your life. So don't worry about it. Just be strong. God still using you. So take care, and just a little counseling minute on trying to reestablish people, whether they're adopted or whether you had a family situation where they excommunicated you for a while, or they just never brought you back because they just never forgave you truly, because they have a hardened heart because they're prideful, and pridefulness is what does that. They excommunicate you from the family when yet they didn't really necessarily need to do that. They overreacted, and they don't want to admit to the things that they did wrong. They don't want to make it right or admit to it either. So they're prideful. That's why they did that to me, excommunicated me out of it. So, there's definitely not a heart of forgiveness there or attitude of true forgiveness. So, but sometimes that happens even when it happened to me, with a family. It's not good, but I still don't give up on hope because they are Christian, and hopefully they'll have a new refound look at that, and realize that people can make mistakes and they can be forgiven. And that's what we're supposed to do. And if you made a mistake you need to own up to it too, and and admit it too as well. If you over said things that weren't true, you need to admit it, because if you have, you need to admit it. And instead of telling people lies and stories, you need to look at the truth and own it, because that's the right thing to do. I don't just say that to myself, but I say that to you out there, people that are doing this stuff. You too, to other people. That's unnecessary, where you've been treated unfairly or accused, or someone gossiping about you. And these are people of Christ that do these things. And yet the Bible says we're not supposed to do that. But there are men and women that do these things, horrible things, and these are Christians supposedly. But I know people can make mistakes, because they do, and people that say stuff about other people do. They don't tell the truth. Oh, sorry, but that's what happens. So I'm just saying, you have to really look at that, because as you judge people with a harsh rod, so will you be judged the same way. So if you don't have a heart of forgiveness, or a heart of love, true forgiveness, perpetual forgiveness, then God's not going to forgive you. So you have to think about it. If you're not showing that attitude, you're not bringing that person back in your family. If you're making up excuses, and if you're looking at it and you're always staying mad and hard, you got a hardened heart and closed mind and closed ears, well, God's going to be that way with you when you go before Him. He's going to say, "Get out of here. I don't know you." And you're going to end up in hell. Because believe me, if you go there, you won't be coming out. So there's seats there for a lot of people that think they're going to heaven if they don't have a problem with forgiving people. That's where they truly will end up. Me, I don't have a problem with forgiving people. I forgive people over and over again, and I have, and I try to put it behind me, because that's what we're supposed to do. It's what the Bible tells us to do. If we love each other, we'll work things out, because we want to be together. That's really the bottom line. We all love each other. It doesn't matter how certain people of the family may feel about each other, because that's not now. That's later on. So we shouldn't be just making accusations. And that's what's happened here a lot. A lot of accusations. So, but anyway, take care. This is Michael DeSilvis. And have a good day.